Cocoa was one of the main sources of income in Nigeria prior to independence, but that changed following the exportation of crude oil in commercial quantities in the 1970s. Prior to the rise of crude oil, the agriculture sector was the dominant contributor to domestic output, employment, and foreign exchange earnings. In the first quarter of 2022, the agriculture sector contributed 4.96% to total trade, while the oil sector contributed 63.77%. Looking back to the 1960s, Nigeria was the second largest producer of cocoa, and cocoa was the highest source of foreign exchange before investments in the oil sector. Consistently, cocoa became the second highest source of FX for the country. According to the Observatory of Economic Complexity, Nigeria's cocoa bean net export value from 2000 to 2005 was $1.734 billion. It increased to $3.15 billion from 2006 to 2010 and to $5.397 billion from 2010 to 2014, before declining to $3.193 billion from 2015 to 2020. Between 2015 and 2020, the country was able to increase cocoa production by 25%, 250,000 tons, compared to Côte d'Ivoire, which has been able to increase production volume by 33%, 2.1 million tons, and Cameroon by 32.7% to 280,000 tons, data from the International Cocoa Organization (ICCO) showed. But Ghana Cocoa Board, despite the COVID-19 pandemic, reported a total production of 771,000 tons for the 2019 and 2020 cocoa season as of November 2020, which is a 0.9% decline in cocoa production since 2015, according to ICCO. Data obtained from the National Bureau of Statistics showed that in the first quarter of 2022, urea was the leading top non-oil export, amounting to 208.39 billion naira. Superior cocoa beans came second with a total of 72.6 billion naira, while sesame seeds and standard quality cocoa beans came in third and fourth respectively, amounting to 56.4 billion naira and 13.2 billion naira respectively. Sesame seed is a yearly seed, and because it is a perilous crop that can go every year, production for the crop can always increase. There is more awareness of the demand for sesame seeds worldwide at the moment. Hence, it is the leading crop for non-oil exports in Nigeria. Production of the crop has declined because farmlands where cocoa production takes place have been given out by the state government to pantries. Most of the farmers are aging, and youth are not ready to farm because of insecurity in the farmlands, and the cost of chemicals and insecticides to maintain existing farmlands is very high. The sector is facing a lot of challenges, including climate change, technology modernization, access to finance, and pests and diseases. Some of the challenges faced range by downsizing to the number of cocoa farmers, lack of finance remunerating the farmers, low investments in the cocoa sector, and lack of finance in terms of productivity per hectare. Nigeria has about 350 kilograms per hectare in comparison to what is obtainable in Ghana, Ivory Coast, and Indonesia. Hence, the low productivity and inconsistency in production. Low investment in the cocoa sector in comparison to the other sectors. For instance, the cash flow in terms of investments that went into cocoa production is less than 2 billion naira, whereas that of rice was above 1 trillion naira in rice production.